So how well do you know your neighbor? Now here's a strange question, but how surprised would you be if that neighbor had an alligator or a bear as a pet?
The investigator Tom Meyer has been digging through new state records that identify exotic animal owners and their pets.
She's about 14 and a half feet.
Keith Gisser's love of animals is unquestioned.
You always use caution.
You have to wind your way through his congested Cleveland Heights living room.
I'm kneeling down right behind you.
Okay, no problem.
Which is packed with iguanas, boa constrictors, pythons, and other large and intimidating snakes.
A lot of these animals have an appeal to a certain criminal element.
Gisser is a law-abiding exotic animal lover. By examining state records, we found he's one of at least 6 dozen Ohioans who filed for a permit that's now required to legally own anything from a lion to large snakes.
And for the first time in about 5 years, I actually got bit in the hand 2 weeks ago. By a boa constrictor.
His living room is too small to house his 5 alligators.
There's nobody downstairs, then this door's closed.
So it's down to the basement we go.
And they do have large mouths with very sharp teeth.
Nadia is the biggest gator of them all, about 6 feet.
That's an animal that if you're not careful could theoretically take a hand.
Gisser makes a living by rescuing reptiles and talking about them.
We go to schools, colleges primarily.
His front porch may be covered with all kinds of stuff, but any visitor can't help but notice the sign on the front door warning about dangerous wild animals. Gisser owns about 160 reptiles, including 80 snakes, which he cares for in this East suburban neighborhood. So what do you think, neighbor?
That is really dangerous.
Call me crazy, but most people have a reasonable expectation that when they move into a residential neighborhood, they won't be living next door to lions, tigers, or bears. If they want to see exotic animals, they know where to find them.
So by making sure this door's closed, the snake gets loose, my neighbors don't have to worry about it.
Over there, we was coming out of the garage.
One of Gisser's snakes escaped through a broken screen window and made its way next door in Brian Johnson's backyard where his 7-year-old son was playing.
Do you think these exotic animals should be in residential neighborhoods?
No, not if you can't control them. I mean, if you can't keep them on your property, no.
Gisser says he's not the kind of exotic animal owner neighbors need to worry about. His gators are registered with the state. He knows of owners of unconventional animals who have gone rogue, refusing to meet the tough requirements of a new state law.
I believe the effect of this law has actually caused more people to go underground.
Really?
Yes. There's no doubt in my mind.
That could lead to more cases like this. A gator found in a local drainage ditch, abandoned by its irresponsible owner.
All these animals have a specific niche in the environment, and part of their niche doesn't include living in residential neighborhoods.
Last month, a customer drove into this Vermilion auto dealership with a spider monkey as his traveling companion. An employee asked to pet the animal, and when he did, the monkey bit his hand, piercing the skin and drawing blood. There was no state permit for the monkey, which health inspectors said was not properly contained. It was put to sleep and tested negative for rabies.
Some of the animals can be downright dangerous to others.
We found exotic animals living in neighborhoods all over. A tiger here in Ravenna, a python in Parma, a cougar in Garrettsville, a black bear in Canton, a bobcat in North Royalton, just to name a few.
I had no idea that my neighbor owned a bobcat.
A bobcat which, hands down, won a staring contest with my videographer.
Hi, guys.
These are only a few of the exotic animals we know about because these owners are going on record and applying for permits. That's little comfort to their neighbors.
I don't even know what to say about that. I think that's really frightening.
There is reason for concern. In the past 2 decades, exotic animals have injured more than 500 people and killed another 75. That includes a 24-year-old Lorain County man who was mauled to death by a black bear 3 years ago. The Humane Society reports an epidemic of private ownership of dangerous animals, a $15 billion industry that Ohio is just now beginning to regulate. I'm the investigator, Tom Meyer.